Now we are starting with a chapter that is surface chemistry. In this chapter, surface chemistry, we'll start this chapter by a small activity. Let's see, think and wonder. I'll show you some pictures. You have to see those pictures. What do you see in those pictures? What do you think about them and what do you wonder about them? What have you seen in this picture? Just jot it down on your paper. Anybody?
We see that the hands have gotten wrinkly. We think one was waiting for too long or maybe you were washing clothes, something like that. And we wonder why the hands get wrinkled if they are kept in water for a long time.
Okay. I'll be doing an activity to explain the same. I'm taking out this filter paper. When I put this on the water, spilled water, what will happen? It is wet from all sides. So the water has gone into it. So it is happening all over. Fine. So can I call this that this water has been taken up by this? Water has been gone in. So this is absorption. AB, absorption. Now we'll introduce the concept. If I say we have taken beaker, I am adding, this is methyl blue solution. I am adding chalk. Do you see? It has changed its color. It is blue from outside. Now if I just break it into two, it is white from inside. So could you see that here the compound is only the component, the dye is on the surface. It is not gone inside. But if you closely observe this, it is wet from inside. Can anybody tell me what's happening here? I have told you that it has turned blue. When I say it has turned blue, it means the dye got attached on the surface of it. It has not gone into it. Now when something is absorbed on the surface, then it is called adsorption. Something is going, something is inside. So here we say when water has gone into it, this is called absorption. We have done the experiment. Now I'll just explain the concept again so that it becomes clear to you. So now we have done one term that is absorption and another term which is absorption, and the two differs only here. AD and AB. Adsorption. Adsorption means the molecules they are contained at the surface. Now if you just see here, now you see the phenomena of accumulating molecule at the surface, then in the bulk of solid or liquid, this is called adsorption. Fine, this is adsorption. Now when we say this is adsorption, this is occurring at the surface. Just remember this thing. When it is occurring at the surface, this is a surface phenomenon. Fine, it is not going to the bulk of this. So now here we have two terms. One is adsorbate and adsorbent. The surface on which it takes place. This is the surface. This surface pe ho raha hai, that is called as adsorbent, and the one which is being absorbed, this is called adsorbate. So the two terms we have learned here, adsorbent and adsorbate. We did one example here. We took that. What did we do? Activated charcoal. That was adsorbent, and dye acted as adsorbate. In the next, I just tell you adsorption is exothermic in nature. We'll discuss that part. Before that, we'll just discuss about what is absorption. Now just see. In absorption, I have taken the example of filter paper. In filter paper, you have seen it has gone into it. So the phenomena in which the substance is uniformly distributed throughout the body of the solid or liquid, this is known as absorption. So, if I ask you to do one difference between the two, then can we say this is a surface phenomenon and this is bulk phenomenon? Right? These are the two differences that we have done. So, we have discussed that the accumulation of molecules which is at the surface, and in the bulk is called adsorption. The species which is which accumulates at the surface and adsorbate, and the surface on which adsorption takes place is known as adsorbent. So if I just talk about action with this, fine, we have done this example with methyl group and added it to charcoal. This is water. So Isha, now you will add this methyl group dye to water to make the methyl group solution. I now add this activated charcoal in one of this. This was the methyl group solution that we prepared?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Now we have put this charcoal into it. Fine. Now we have kept it for some time, 15 minutes. Now what will we do? We'll filter this. And this I have already prepared. Okay, I added charcoal yesterday. So now we'll see the difference in the liquid. Just filter it. Keep it here. Fine. Now just take again, filter this. If you see, could you see that this become colorless? So the dye has absorbed. This charcoal has absorbed. This was your adsorbent. So dye has been absorbed by this. Now children, can you see the difference in the color? This was the original solution. This is after 15 minutes. This is, I have kept it overnight. Fine. Here you kids could see. Okay, now just tell me better, what do you observe here?
Ma'am, this is black in color, this is blue in color, so this is original, and now this is kept after overnight, and that is why the dye was absorbed.
Dye is completely absorbed on the surface. So you have seen the dye is accumulated on the surface, and now the solution was colorless. Fine. And now the substance has been absorbed. If the removal of the substance from the surface, this is absorbed. If this is removed from the surface, this is called as, the term is known as desorption. What do we call it as? Now we do the difference between adsorption and absorption. We have done both the terms. So in adsorption, the substance is concentrated only at the surface. While in case of absorption, it is uniformly distributed throughout the bulk of solid. So this is a very good example when we just talk about adsorption and absorption by the example of water vapor. Here we see in calcium chloride, when it is placed in a moisture container, what will happen? It will be taken, calcium chloride will absorb the moisture. Fine. So here what is taking place? Absorption is taking place. Just see it is going inside completely. So it is a bulk phenomenon. Placed in moisture container, now see the molecules, they are at the surface, they get absorbed. So molecules here at the surface, and in case of calcium chloride, they goes into the solution. So any problem with this? So in other words, in adsorption, the concentration of adsorbate increases only at the surface of the adsorbent, while in absorption, the concentration is uniform throughout the bulk of the solid. So in chalk, on the surface we could see dye, and inside water has gone. Fine. So adsorption and absorption both are taking place. So we call it as absorption. Another term. Is this example of absorption or adsorption? Absorption. Okay. This silica gel, yes, anybody from the online student? Adsorption, yes, adsorption is happening.
Written the question related to the topic absorption and adsorption.
Do you know the difference between the two terms absorption and adsorption? Let's look at this with an example. Look at this tissue paper. It sucks away all the ink immediately. This is absorption. Now what about an ordinary paper? When used ink on an ordinary paper, the ink stays on the surface of the paper. This is adsorption.
But here was that. Is it a piece of candy?
No, it's not. It's a silica gel sachet.
Do you know the use of this packet?
Silica gel absorbs the moisture from its surroundings, keeping it dry and preventing any microbial growth.
What's absorption?
So in adsorption, the substance is concentrated only on the surface and does not penetrate through the surface of the bulk of the adsorbent. You got it?